Hello, hello, everyone. I think we are going live here. I think we're up and running. Looks like it. All right, I can see comments and I am excited today. Hopefully, you can hear me. If you can hear me okay, please type in the chat hello, Heather, or hi is fine. And just want to know if you're also here live. If you're here live with me, then give me a hashtag live. And if you're here watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay. But today I'm excited because we're going to talk about how to stand out and sell yourself as a service based entrepreneur, even if you're new to business. Okay. So, even if you're new to business, I know that a lot of you out there, I'm sure you can agree that there's a lot of competition around whatever you're up to, right? What I know there's a lot of naturopaths out there, a lot of coaches, a lot of health coaches or business coaches or whatever kind of coach you are, consultant, any type of service that you offer. I'm sure there's already a lot of competition out there. And as you can see, there's always a lot of noise out there, a lot of information. So it's very overwhelming for people. So, how do you stand out as the go to against all that competition? That's what we're going to be talking about here today. And if you're here watching on YouTube, go ahead and like and subscribe. But yeah, just greetings. Like I'm really glad that you're here, and you're gonna get a lot out of this. All right. So even if you're in a crowded market, even if you've never done this before, even if you have hundreds of competition, like how do you get clients in the door when you're trying to monetize your expertise? That's what you want to know today, right? So how do you consistently and effectively stand out against the competition, right? There's a massive opportunity now, more now than ever, okay, for service based entrepreneurs. People need support and people are more open to it too, right, than ever before because it's kind of becoming more mainstream. It's like, why reinvent the wheel, right? When somebody's already out there doing it, they've got a proven system or a proven strategy to get the results much quicker, working smarter, not harder, right? People seem to be more open to the help and the support these days more than ever before. So now there's like a great opportunity for that. And, the more stressful life becomes, the more pressure there is, right? The more people need someone who will walk alongside them and be an advocate for them. So people are looking for solutions to life's problems, and that is why coaching, consulting, a lot of services that are being offered out there, like I said, naturopath, therapy, whatever it is, whatever service you provide for people, people are looking for that solution typically. But again, there's a lot of competition. So how do you stand out? But people, need someone who's willing and able to help them and someone who will coach them through whatever that is, right? Someone that'll hold them accountable, someone that'll guide them into shifting their beliefs. Maybe they've got some pre-programmed beliefs that are limiting them and they need help getting out of their own way, right? Or someone who might open them up to new possibilities that they might not be seeing themselves, right? So we've got all these different things. There's so much opportunity. It's massive. And there's just really no better time to have a coaching or consulting business. I even had a call today with somebody who's been in the corporate world for 30 plus years. He is great at what he does. He's getting amazing results for people. But he just needs that help putting it all together and being able to offer it at a premium price and just be held accountable and have that support to get it going quickly instead of spending that typical, what is it, statistics say 3 to 5 years to set up a business so it actually starts producing the results and hitting those income goals. It can be done much quicker, much simpler with a proven system in about 8 to 12 weeks, right? So anyway, it will not happen overnight, but it's possible that if you're just getting started, um, in your service-based business, you will be able to stand out as the go-to against the competition with the way you position yourself, with the way you communicate the value around what you've got. Marketing is the greatest equalizer. Okay. If you understand how you can get people to come to you, right, and how to sell your service as the go to, there's really no limit about how far you can go to scale your business. It's really exciting, especially if you're charging a premium rate. And another thing that I show my clients how to do is how to bundle their value, their knowledge, their wisdom, their expertise, and how to charge a premium rate for it. So between $3,000 and $10,000. Okay. If you're not really sure how to do that, then I've got something for you at the end of this. Okay. But anyway, if you're an expert in whatever niche, okay, there is a way to monetize it, and in a way that will be absolutely life changing for you. Okay, so let's dive in to how you sell yourself as a service based entrepreneur, because we're going to be talking about three specific things. Okay, so let's dive right in. Number one, you're not really selling yourself. Okay, I know a lot of people are out there doing that. So you're not selling yourself. What you are selling is an outcome. It's a result. It's the result that you get for your client, for your people. Okay. Most people are talking about how great they are, all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the expertise that they have, right? How many certifications they have, how great they are. So that's why they're better than the other person. How long they've been in the business, stuff like that, right? I rarely ever talk about that. If someone asks me, okay, I'll tell them, but there's no, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter how long. It's like, who cares if you can get the result? And I like to tell this story about like this, if there's like a homeless person on the street and they're, let's say you're walking down the street and you've got this problem with your arm and you've got this big rash or whatever, and the homeless person starts talking about it and they're like, oh, I've had that rash before too, and I got rid of it in like 2 weeks, and this is what I did. And then they start talking about the problems, and they start talking about like, oh, I had that too, and I've known lots of other people that had that, and it looks just like this other thing. Is it doing this? Is it doing that? Does it feel like this? Does it feel like that? And they start describing it to a T, and then every like so often it does this and it does that, right? And what that does is it resonates with the person, right? Because they're like, yeah, that's true. How did you know, right? Like, absolutely. They're like, oh, this is exactly what I did, right? So this is the results that you get, right? So it doesn't matter the credibility of the person. The person on the street could be homeless, but if they understand what the actual problem is and how to get the result, that's the key. That person will listen to them, right? So anyway, it doesn't really matter how long you've been in business, how great you are. If you're not going to focus on the results, right? Instead of talking about that outcome that your client wants, right? It's not going to happen. But when you talk about that, because most people are talking about how great they are and how long they've been in business and how they can help other people, right? That's not what gets you to stand out. What gets you to stand out is really resonating, really having your message resonate with your ideal client on how you get the results for them. So it won't matter how saturated the market is, right? You will immediately separate yourself if you highlight the results you will get for your clients, because your audience's main concern is getting from where they are, right, to where they want to be. Okay, with any service-based business, right? With any service-based business, that is the key, right? So it's what do they want? What's the outcome they want, right? Does that make sense, guys? If that's making sense, then comment outcome in the comments below so I know that you're following me, that you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, make sure you're getting this. So there's no truth to the idea that people are judging you based on your website. I get calls every day almost for people. They come to me and they're like, I'm posting every day, I've got my website done, I've got my LLC formed or whatever, I registered my business, I've got all these things, I'm like trying to get all these followers on my social media, and nobody's buying from me, nothing's happening, I don't know what's going on, right? And people they're not going to judge you based on your website. They're not going to judge you based on how many followers you are. They're not going to buy from you. They might judge you, but they're not going to buy from you. Better is a better word, actually. They're not going to buy from you based on your website. They're not going to buy from you based on how many followers you have. It's just not going to work, right? So what they do pay you for, right? Again, it's that outcome, right? So if you're talking about how experienced you are as a coach, then people are going to look into that, right? And that's what they're going to focus on. The biggest myth in the marketing world today is that you have to build an audience, okay, to get clients. You just don't. Okay. You don't have to build a huge audience and get a whole bunch of followers to make money in your business. You don't have to have a fancy website to make money in your business. You can have a simple one page thing to make a lot of money in your business. Okay. I'm telling you. So if you get so good about talking about the problem and delivering the solution, all the other things don't matter. The website, the TED Talks, a book, whatever, it doesn't matter. It all becomes irrelevant if you know how to communicate the value around what you have to offer, okay, and really resonate with your ideal client. That's the key, okay? So that was number one. Number two is setting your price, okay, according to the value of the outcome. So when you're new, what typically happens, what I see a lot of people do, I get calls all the time from people calling me, and I'm like, how did you come up with that price? I always ask them, how did you come up with the price of what you're charging, right? And it's usually really low, for too low for what they are offering, because a lot of people, what they end up doing is they look around and they see what the competition is charging, or they take it from their own experience of, oh, well, this is what I've paid in the past, or maybe they'll just undercharge it a little bit more, thinking, well, that's really going to help me stand out against the competition. That's going to make me the go to as opposed to the other person, right? But that's not how it works, okay? People are not going to go to you because you've discounted yourself, okay? It could actually have the opposite effect when you do that. So understand that you never base your price on what your competitors are doing, okay? And you can, and don't discount. You don't have to discount. You can actually outmarket your competition, and you can charge a premium price way higher than theirs if you know how to communicate the value effectively around what you've got to offer. So look at the outcome, okay, that you're promising, and then decide what that outcome is worth, okay? And then you price it accordingly. All right. And I know like a lot goes into that, right? We spend a week trying to figure that out, and we formulate and calculate a lot, gather a lot of data in order to figure out what the price point is, okay, that the ideal client would pay, right? There's a way to figure that out, so that there's a confidence behind it, so that there's a knowing behind it. Because if you're just pulling a price out of thin air, it's not going to work. If you're just like, okay, I'm going to charge 3,000 now for what I have to offer, it's not going to work, right? There's a way to do it where you create the value based on what your ideal client really wants and really would think is a bargain. Okay. So, and it has to do with the outcome, right, that you're promising. Okay. So if you can, for example, help people get off toxic medicine in a natural way with natural methods to fix their blood pressure, lose weight, sleep better, etc., right? I can help you put together a step-by-step program around that, right? And when you have something like that, right, it's like a transformational thing, right? It's something that is going to transform somebody's life, could possibly save their life, right? It's a program that's truly life-changing. Then you can easily charge 5K, 8K, 10K for your service. Okay, and people might think, oh, that's so selfish, or that's so terrible. But here's the thing: when you charge more people value it more too, right? Um, they're going to show up and they're going to do the work, right? Because they're going to want to get their money's worth. If you're just charging, $20 an hour, $100 an hour, they might show up, they might not show up, and you're not going to be able to go as deep with them to get them the result. Does that make sense? And then not only does that help get people better results, but it also helps you get to your financial goals, which is another result that you're looking for, right? It helps you get to your financial goals much easier and much quicker as well. So it's just a win-win all around. And it's a great deal because the outcome you're producing far outweighs the amount that the clients will be paying you, right? So this result is actually priceless, okay? So don't base your pricing on how much time it's going to take you or what anyone else is doing, okay? Because I do see that too. Like people look at they just think, oh, okay, it's all about time, and they calculate like it takes this much time to do this, so that's why I'm going to charge this amount. Like, for example, I see a lot of people saying, okay, well, I typically charge $100 an hour, and I'm going to spend like 10 hours a week with them, so I'm going to price it at $1,000, right? again, it doesn't work that way. So, so look at the lifetime value of the outcome that you deliver. Okay. It doesn't matter if you work with your clients for only 6 weeks or shorter, right? If you can, the shorter the better, right? If you can deliver that outcome in 10 minutes, even better. Charge 10,000 for that 10 minutes, right? If it's a life-changing thing. Who wants to take more time than they have to, right? So, and who wants to suffer longer than they have to? It all depends on how long it takes you to deliver the outcome, and that's it. That's the bottom line, okay? So, the price is also based on the severity of the problem and the skill needed to solve it, all right? So don't undervalue your expertise and take it and like just take the time to accumulate that knowledge of what it would take to get the result. Does that make sense? I hope you're all following me. Okay, so here's how you do it. Okay, basically you're going to take a look at your skill set. Okay, I mean, everybody's different, right? Everybody has different experiences, everybody's got different knowledge, different wisdom, different expertise. So you're going to take a look at that skill set that you have. Okay, and then you're going to look at what's the problem that you can solve, okay, with that expertise. And then the next thing is, what's it worth to fix that problem? Okay, so now base your price on that value. Does that make sense? So essentially, you'll be saying, buy from me because you have the problem and you want to fix it. Okay, not buy from me because it takes 10 hours at $100 an hour. Make sense? So you position yourself around that outcome and you immediately stand out. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, and maybe just let me know that you're following me. Just, give me a thumbs up if you're still with me. Okay, so let's go into number three, or you can type in any questions if you have to. So number three is creating an automatic lead flow. Okay, this is really essential too, because if your ideal clients can't find you, call you, and pay you, they're going to be going to the competition, right? So you need to be set up properly for the right people to find you, call you, and pay you before the competition. All right, so if you're throwing all this stuff up on the wall to see what sticks and you don't have a solid strategy and a solid system in place, it's going to cost you, right? And it might cost your clients too, because they're out there suffering, looking for you. And who you are and what you can provide for them. So, and then they end up with a competition that might not be as good as you. So, anyway, creating the automatic lead flow. If you want clients and you're having to do all this work of creating content and putting it out there, and you could be doing it all wrong too. If you're like posting all over the place and nothing's resonating and you're not getting the clients in, well, it doesn't matter if you post to one place or 10 places. If it's not working in one place, it's not going to work in the 10 places. Okay. If it's working in one place, then there's a good chance it'll work in the other 10 places too. But there's 2.4 billion people on Facebook alone. If it's not working on Facebook, it's not really going to work anywhere else, I believe. But if it is working on Facebook, then you could be replicating it in other places as well. Okay, so if you're blogging daily, if you're posting Instagram reels constantly, this equals a job, right? This isn't a business, right? We want to be working on the business, not in the business. So if you're posting all day, you're getting exhausted, you're feeling overwhelmed, you feel like you're spinning your wheels, something isn't working. Something in your messaging isn't working, okay? So what we want to have is we want to have a simple but effective system, right? So that clients come to you automatically, right? And how does that system look? It's basically you post something, it goes to a free valuable offer, which goes to a phone call or them coming into your shop if it's a brick and mortar type of thing, and then you enroll them into becoming a new client. Okay, 4 steps, very simple. Okay, very effective, not time consuming at all. You create a post that's effective with a message that resonates. It leads them to your valuable free offer. Again, that positions you as the go-to expert. That creates a lot of value for them, and then guides them into a call with you. So then that way you can have a conversation and see if they're a good fit and see if you can help them, right? And then if you can and they're a good fit, then it becomes a sale. Very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. So I go ahead and post on social media. I do that. Okay, people click on the link, right? I do a live like this once every Thursday at 3 p.m. And they click on the link, or they reach out or whatever, and then that leads them to my valuable free offer. right? And which I have like a master class that talks about the 5 steps to get ideal clients with, without wasting time and money on marketing. And at the end, they get invited to book a call, right? That's it. It's very simple. They book a call with me or one of my team, and if they're a good fit, if I can help them, then we work together. And if they're not, then I point them in the direction of someone that can get them to that next level that they're looking for whatever they need. All right. So if with this system in place, you don't have to be on social media all the time, right? Like I created a post, I don't know, 6 months ago or something like that, and it's still going, right? It took me 15, 20 minutes to write that post, and that's it. I don't have to be posting all over the place all the time, and I get calls constantly. So I do all this content because I enjoy it and I want to give value to my audience, not because I have to, or my entire business, if I don't do it, comes crashing down, right? Like this is something that I enjoy. I enjoy being out there. I enjoy giving value to people. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And I don't know. I like it. And I just love serving people. So I do it, but I don't do it all the time, every day, all day, right? 20, 30 minutes on a Thursday, done, you know? Um, but with the system I just mentioned, right, the ideal clients get funneled in all the way through to me. So then I just have conversations with amazing people and I listen to what's up with them, what they need, what their challenges are, where they want to take it, right, where they want to take their business. We look at what's working, what's not working, and then put together a game plan, right? For if they're a good fit to come work with me. And if they're not, like I said, then I just point them in the direction of someone that might be a better fit for them for wherever they're at in their business, in their life. And it gives me deep fulfillment and satisfaction doing that. So this means that, by the time, they hop on the call with you, they're more or less ready to work with you, right? Like by the time they go through all those steps, it's like, okay, this person typically 80% of the time is going to be a good fit. So then you're not wasting your time on the phone with all these non-ideal clients, right? So there's a way to do that where you can have them go through and they're getting vetted all the way. So it's kind of weeding out the people you don't want to work with and really inviting the people that you do want to work with. So then by the time they do get with you on the phone, they're a pretty good fit, right? And then you can just, there's that 20% that might not be ready or yet, or they're just, you just wouldn't want to work with them anyway, right? Like, because you don't know personalities too, right? And personalities come into it too. But the beauty of that is that you get to pick and choose. You don't have to take on anyone and everyone just to pay the bills, right? How much freedom is that, right? It's so fun. To be able to spend your valuable time working with people that you would really love working with. And so anyway, it's a really great simple system, but you let your valuable free offer do the talking, right? You end up with qualified leads, quality leads, right? Quality prospects. And you'll only be talking to the people who are really serious about moving forward to solve their problem. So it's simple and it works amazingly because you will have so much free time on your hands to enjoy life without having to be on your phone, your computer, staring at your screen all day. And it's cool because you can typically work from anywhere, especially if you've got the service-based business, because it can probably be done online, especially now in this day and age after COVID. Everybody's a little more open to it than ever before. So another opportunity, like I talked about at the beginning, of course, if you've got a brick and mortar, then you have to show up and you have to be there. But still, you whatever it is, you always need clients. If you've got a business, you need clients, and this is a very simple 4-step, 5-step process to get them from stranger onto the phone into a paying client with you. Very, very cool. Very amazing. So, just to recap, okay, how you stand out against the competition so that people choose to go with you. You're the go-to versus all that competition. How do you break through the noise of all that information that's out there and all the same people popping up? Why would somebody choose you versus go somewhere else? One, you're not selling yourself, right? You're selling that valuable outcome, that valuable result. Number two, your price should not be based on anything other, like no competition. I think your price is based on the outcome that you provide, right? And you should be commanding a high ticket price. right? It's not based on what the competition does. It's not based on the time amount of time you spend. It's based on the outcome again, okay? And then number three, you want to create an automated lead flow marketing system, marketing strategy so that, it gets the right people finding you, calling you, and paying you, in 4 or 5 simple steps. So if that's what you want to do in your business, then just type stand out here in the comments below, and someone from my team will reach out to you. Either myself or someone from my team will reach out to you, and we can set up a quick 15-minute call, just to see where you're at. It's not a sales call. It's just, like let's see where you're at, right? Let's see what you have to offer, what the problem is real quick, and then we can point you in the right direction. If it seems like you do want to have more information and you would be interested in working with us, then we could set up a separate call after that, and then that would be a more in-depth call, like I said before, of just finding out like what's working, what's not working, where you want to go, and see if we can help you get there. If we can close the gap to get you there quickly, we can show you how, and if not, we'll point you in the right direction for someone that can. All right, so hopefully that was super helpful for you today. And I'd love to hear if there's anything specific that you would like me to do these Facebook Lives on that would offer you more value. I'm here every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So come on in and join us live, and you can ask questions at the end. We could open it up for some questions at the end if you hop on here live. And if not, just feel free to put it in the comments below, any questions that you have, or if you are interested again in that quick 15-minute phone call, just write the word stand out down below. So hopefully it's been helpful, and I will see you all again next Thursday. All right, take care, guys.